Here we are, Hazel, the Rhineharts, having a conversation.
Boop.
You scratch those ribs.
This time we're talking about movies.
Yep. Movies.
So,
Do you think movies are culturally important?
yeah.
Why?
Well, okay, so I think that it's more of just like way back when people had oral stories, just kind of like they would speak the story or whatever else. That's like how a lot of, I mean, we still have some of those stories today, right? With like Greek mythology. I don't know, like just different mythology, different lore and whatnot, passed down through generations. Eventually, it was like written down, becoming like books. People created new stories, and then it was like it transformed into like in music too, and now it's in movies as well. Yeah. So that was a really stupid, unintelligent way of saying yes.
Well, I asked why. You're just saying because we've always had stories.
I think it's a way of us storytelling about our culture, yeah. I mean, thinking about just in general, like, for instance, books. Did you read The Crucible?
No.
It's like required reading in a lot of high school English classes, but
Yeah, not if you're stupid.
well,
I'm kidding. I don't even know. I've never even heard of this book that you just said was required reading in most high schools.
well, okay, so The Crucible's a play. I did the play when I was in high school.
Oh, that's why you know about it. You're a theater nerd.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so the Salem witch trials, right? We all know about the Salem witch trials.
Yes, I do know about those.
So The Crucible was written by someone during, I believe it was written by a relative of one of the judges that sentenced women and men to hang.
Was he like, dude, my uncle was so tight. He burned so many witches.
I think that he did it out of guilt.
Oh, not a fan of the burning at the stake.
Yeah. Well, and then I'll say it like this. That story of the Salem witch trials was told at a time, like retold at a time of, I think it was anyway. I think that it was a descendant of that man, and he created that play to basically be an allegory for, like when communism was
The Red Scare.
Yeah, thank you. I was like, I cannot remember the name of this. So it either influenced another book that was written about that, or it was an allegory for that. But basically, it's like it's a retelling of that as an allegory, yeah. And culturally speaking, that's something that's really affected us as a people in this country, right? There's a lot of...
What, the witch trials, you mean?
Well, just in general, we're always looking for someone to blame, right? It's not us, it's someone else. Like, we did this in World War II. We sentenced a bunch of Japanese people in, like, California to work camps.
Yeah, internment camps.
Yeah. So, I mean... And we're always just kind of looking at like, oh, well, and specifically about the Red Scare, we're looking at, different people just be like, oh, no, I'm not a communist. It's them. They're the communist.
Yeah.
And I know that their friend also is a communist.
Yeah.
It's the same thing in like the Salem witch trials. Like, oh, no, I'm not a witch. This person influenced me to be a witch because they speak to Lucifer.
That'll do it.
So anyway, yes. I do. It's like it's a story. And I think that all stories have purpose, regardless if it's just meant for entertainment. I mean, it is what it is. I think most things have a lesson.
So what's the lesson from the Crucible? Don't burn witches. Don't point the finger at
Don't.
others.
When you point one finger at someone else, you're pointing four back at yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
My character was Abigail Williams. That is the character I played in high school.
Did you get
the
burned at
Crucible
the
play.
stake?
No, Abigail survived. She got other people burned at the stake.
Nice. Do you
She-
think if you had been there in real life, do you think you would have been an Abigail, or do you think you would have been a victim?
Seeing as Abigail was like literally 12 or 14 years old, I think I probably would have been also an Abigail.
You'd have been like, not me, dude.
Well, first of all, you
Them.
got to think about the fact that like she is a young child and she was being seduced by like a 30-year-old man, because you don't know the story.
Well, I don't. At that time, wasn't that like pretty age appropriate?
He was married.
Whoa, sinner,
And
chicken dinner.
I mean, think about it. Like, they were like super religious, early settlers.
Yeah.
Anyway, all that to say, it's so easy to sit here and be like, oh, I would never do that. But as a child, would you have done that? Like,
Well, dude, you don't. I would 1,000% have been burning people at the stake, dude. I would have been a witch hunter, for sure.
well, definitely anything to get I mean, if I valued my life at all, I would totally just be like, anyone but me, you know?
I was raised
mean, I have
religious, and I
different
was crazy in the 2000s. So
Well,
imagine me as like some Protestant and whatever that happened, the 1500s. Is that when it was?
I think so.
I don't know that much about it.
Yeah.
I definitely, though, I would have been hunting witches down.
I said all that stuff about, I think that the Scarlet Letter was actually in on this whole thing too. Like, it was like kind of like a roundabout.
What do you mean?
Maybe the person who wrote the Scarlet Letter was the descendant. I have no fact checker here, but those three
Yeah.
things they all have commonalities.
We have our
somehow.
computer, but I'm not going to fact check you. Just spit out whatever random information you think might be true.
I'm gonna just look it up really fast.
No,
Scarlet Letter.
No, I like it. Just think about it and just spit out the first whatever the spirit tells you. That's probably not even close to right, but you can feel confident. In the Navy, they told me to be confident and wrong. Or wrong and confident. So, basically you're allowed to be wrong, but you have to do it confidently. You're making a face that says everything you just said was wrong.
I don't know what to look at. I don't remember. I
It
just
doesn't
remember
really
talking
matter.
about it in my English class, okay? It's been like 20 years. Forgive me.
So we both would have burned witches at the stake. It's a good thing to know about ourselves, I think.
I think as an adult, like the age I am now, I have a different perspective on like blaming others and not taking responsibility. But as a child, as a 14-year-old child, yeah, definitely. I would definitely do that.
Well, I don't know. Take the child part out of it.
There were grown people throwing the finger, and I think that culturally I want to say I would not do that, but only because I am someone who takes responsibility for the crappy things that I do. So
Yeah.
if I was dancing with the devil, I probably would be like, well,
I would have just been so easily
I guess
convinced.
I'm dying. Yeah.
Someone would have been like, they're a witch. I'd have been like, whoa, what the? A witch, dude? I'll kill him. Witches are evil.
Oh my gosh.
Well, think about it. They didn't know anything. They knew nothing
No.
other than like
yeah.
what people told them. There was no Google. There was no nothing. Probably a lot of them didn't even read.
I probably would be throwing people under the bus.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd be like out on a ranch, a cow would die. Someone would be like, "Oh, that's the neighbor girl. She's a witch. She killed it." I'd be like, "Let's burn her."
Yeah,
That'd be
I don't know.
So easy. to
Mob
convince.
mentality, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Well, anyway, different movie.
Well, there's a movie called The Vivitch, and it's all about a witch. during that time period.
I've not seen that one.
We haven't watched it together. I'll
No.
make you watch it. It's really slow, but
Are
it's
we gonna
one of
watch
my
it after
favorite-
this?
I don't
I'll
know.
pick up my crochet.
I don't know.
Crochet.
It's one of my favorite horror movies, but it is really slow. But they talk in like the old English stuff, and they get kicked out of their little settlement thing, so they go out on their own to settle some land, and then it's basically exactly what we're talking about, like just a bunch of paranoid, super religious people.
Yeah.
But, you know, the movie's called The Witch. Spoiler alert. There is a witch. It's good, though. It's a good movie. We can watch it.
So, movies. I do think they're culturally important. I do think that they speak a story. You know,
They speak a story.
they speak a story.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm a witch. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think so? Why or why not?
Well, you know me. I'm like a huge fan of storytelling, so I think it's super relevant and important. Basically, for all the same reasons you said, it's just like an evolution of oral storytelling.
Yeah.
And I'd say movies are probably some of the best storytelling, because you see visually and you hear what's happening. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get to
Yeah.
literally experience things that you would not otherwise experience.
Like for instance, like James Cameron Avatar.
Yeah, sure. That's one example.
It's an interesting story. People say it's much like Pocahontas or Ferngully. I think
Yeah.
it's like Ferngully ultimately. I think just a lot of people haven't seen Ferngully. Have you seen that movie?
No.
It's a child movie basically. Well, it's a cartoon, I'll say. That dog is going wild.
Yeah, she's...
She's like got her tongue out too.
Yeah.
Just okay.
What do
Anyway.
She thinks something about movies.
She likes them. She loves movies. She
does love them. She watches them with
she
us.
does. She lays down. She watches the screen. She thinks they're very interesting.
Anyway, yeah, Avatar. I've definitely heard it's like Pocahontas. I've heard it's like Dancing with the Wolves, which it is. It's pretty similar storyline.
Well, and Ferngully itself is a cartoon, and it's about like two little fairy creature people living in the woods, and they're experiencing like deforestation in their habitat.
That sounds like it was ahead of its time.
It was. This was like a movie I saw in the 90s. Anyway, there's this other movie I really enjoyed as a kid, and it was The Cobbler and the Thief. Maybe that's what it's called. It's about a cobbler who fell in love with a princess. It's a very good movie, actually. It was very funny. I'm gonna look that up now.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. To your point, I guess, about Avatar or whatever, or to my point is, yeah, I think movies can teach you to empathize, because they make you feel emotions. When you watch a sad movie, you get sad, and when you watch a happy movie, you get happy. If it's good, if it's a well done movie.
The Thief and the Cobbler. So I was
Nice.
reversed. This was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid, next to Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yes, they tell a story. I think a lot of the stories they tell are very important. I think that they have lessons.
Yeah, I don't know. Storytelling has been a part of human history probably as long as humans have been able to speak. So
Right, exactly, yeah. And this is
I
just
think
like
it's
the
an
next
important tradition.
iteration, yeah.
One day we'll be living movies probably, right? With like VR and all that crap.
Living La Vida Loca.
Yeah, you'll be like inside the movie.
You will be inside out for real.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I do. I think they're important tools.
So, yeah. You said that you had a bunch of questions written down.
Yeah. I did.
Somewhere.
I could find my phone. There it is.
I mean, I'll just keep on talking. I loved The Thief and the Cobbler a lot. I loved The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I was Esmeralda one year for Halloween. I loved Pocahontas. My mom made me a Pocahontas cake when I was growing up.
Thought you were gonna say costume for a second.
I can't remember if I ever dressed up as Pocahontas, but I did grow up very close to the Nez Perce Reservation.
Yeah.
So I don't know. No one probably thought it was in poor taste. At least white people didn't back at that time. Now it seems like everyone kind of knows better, but I don't know. I'm not trying to say I'm perfect by any means. All I can do is learn.
No
And I was a
judgment.
child at the time.
I'm pretty sure my brother was a Indian one year. I could be wrong. I could be
Well,
making that up. Memory's not very reliable.
There's something about the fact that, like, I don't know. Maybe it's not different at all for, like, a white person to be doing that versus someone who's already, like, a similar.
Probably just depends on who's watching
Race.
it, right? Some people would get offended.
guess.
Some people wouldn't get offended. Some people care a lot. Some people don't care.
Kind of like how I recently learned that dream catchers are only really dream catchers if they're done by a specific tribe and blessed. I cannot remember the tribe. But, like, how many people make dream catchers? Like, they're going to be.
I don't know.
Okay, you can start with your question. Sorry.
Couldn't call it.
was
I
just
don't know.
kinda
I love.
like, childhood stories.
Yeah, I don't know. I love Indian stuff, so I'm down to talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, if you were gonna recommend one movie to the lovely viewers and listeners of this podcast, what movie would you recommend and why?
I would definitely recommend my favorite movie of all times.
Beauty and the Beast.
No. I mean, yes, but no. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh yeah.
I love that movie.
Okay, now why?
I think that it's a really beautiful story. I think that if you're really paying attention to it, the first time you watch it, you might really, like, truly understand what's going on. I watched it several times, just, like, not fully encapsulating every single thing that happened, I guess. Because the timeline, if you're not necessarily paying super close attention, can be kind of confusing. This has been my favorite movie since I was a teenager. So there's that. But it's like every time I watch it, I notice something else. And it's just like a really beautiful love story. And the cinematography is gorgeous. I mean, it's just. If you like film, you would like this. If you like a love story, you would like this. If you like Jim Carrey being serious, you would like this. If you like Kate Winslet. It is Kate Winslet, right? Maybe it's Kate Beckinsale.
It's definitely not Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Winslet.
We'll just go with that for now.
I'm bad with people's names. But anyway, Kirsten Dunst is in it too. Pretty weird, but.
That's your recommendation, though.
Yeah. I mean, you'll get it the first time you watch it, ultimately. It's just that, like, you know, the more times you watch something, the more you notice about it, the more you really understand or, like, delve deeper into something. And it's just it's a very good movie. I love it. I think 5 out of 5 stars. A lot of people probably will not agree with me, but I think it's.
They don't have to.
I think it's perfect. Yeah, I love that
Opinions
movie.
are like assholes.
Everyone's got one.
Yep.
But yeah, that's my favorite. How about you?
If I were gonna recommend one movie,
The Other Guys.
yeah, Step Brothers. No.
And why?
I don't know. I actually didn't think about my answer to any of these questions. I'd probably say Parasite.
Oh, that is such a good movie.
Yeah.
Talk about layers.
Well, and also it just like exposed me to Korean filmmaking, and then I've watched a bunch of like other Korean films because of it.
Yeah.
A bunch of them have been really good. I'd say if I was gonna recommend one movie that we've seen like somewhat recently or whatever, I'd say Everything Everywhere All at Once was really good.
Yes. I second that, actually. If you have not seen that, some people say it's weird. I've heard
I mean, it is weird.
it's definitely weird. I mean, hot dog fingers.
Yeah, I liked it though, and we hadn't watched the trailer or anything. I had no expectation. And
None.
I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
We just like hopped into like a theater one day and we're just like, oh, it's playing. Let's go.
Yeah.
Ooh, such a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I thought that movie was really good.
I'm trying to think.
And,
Gran Turismo was pretty good.
The one with
Yeah, I
Clint
know.
Eastwood.
Gran Turismo?
Yeah.
The one about the video games?
Oh no, you're talking about the race movie.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of I can't remember. There's a Clint Eastwood, El Torino or something like that.
Oh.
Gran Torino or something like that.
I don't even know. Anyway,
The race
with
movie.
Orlando Bloom.
You're thinking of the race
with
movie.
Legolas.
That movie was good.
It was good.
Definitely not as good as the other one, I don't think. But
Yeah, I agree. I was just thinking, I'm like, oh, well, we saw this one more recent because Everything Everywhere All at Once was like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
But a lot of movies since then.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone to see some. Most movies are probably not worth recommending.
No.
I would say, yeah. What's
He's
the
like,
most,
next question.
Yeah. What's the kind of based loosely off that? What's the most? Oh no, dude, I got a good one.
Really?
If you could only watch and rewatch one movie for the rest of your life, what movie would it be?
Beauty and the Beast.
Nice.
How do I know that I could actually do that?
'Cause you've done it.
I've done it. Yeah. A story for everyone out there. I mean, of course you care to know.
You wouldn't be here if you didn't.
That's right. My grandpa, when he passed away, I went and stayed with my grandma for a summer, and I did nothing but watch Beauty and the Beast for like 2 months. I'd still love that movie. I'd still watch it.
Yeah, she'd watch it right now. She's not even kidding.
I love that movie.
We watch it like every year.
I love that movie.
You don't gotta convince me.
It's good. How about you?
I'd probably, I mean, technically only one.
You know you have to speak into your microphone.
Only one. I'd probably do the Fellowship of the Ring. I like the Lord of the Rings.
You do, and also rereading the book. This isn't a this episode isn't really about
Yeah.
books, but that is, you reread that trilogy. I think more than once a year.
I don't know about that, but
Eh.
well, the first one especially. If you understand the background of the books and the movies, they're just amazing. Like, he came back from war and wrote that stuff. So like when he's writing about like normal people going to war and fighting things, that's like from real life experience of like seeing it. 'Cause like when the world wars happened, it was just normal people going to war. It was like brothers and sons. It wasn't like, like in America now, like everyone's like, oh, I volunteer as tribute, dude, pay for my college. Like, that's what I did. It wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like, we're going to war because we have to.
Yeah, and
like, our
everyone got
country's getting
drafted, yeah.
destroyed. So like when he writes about like, oh, they're fighting like this great evil stuff and they're just like ordinary little hobbit people. And then they all just he does a really good job of making sure that you can tell that they love each other. Like, not like in a gay way, but like
But it could be
as
gay.
friends. It could be, more power to them. but
Sam and Frodo.
But
I ship them.
they and like that also I think comes from like his real life experience of like seeing that, because like that's what it's like. I don't know. I wasn't in war, but I was in the military, and that it's basically you would do anything for each other. Anyway, yeah, the Fellowship is awesome because it's when they all first he like get introduced and everything.
Yeah.
Nothing really happens. They walk really far in that one. But it's the movies, at least, I think, kind of like the last one is like kind of the cheesiest.
I was on TikTok. This is kind of an aside. I was on TikTok and I saw that someone uses an app to track their walking, and it compares their walking to that of the Fellowship
Frodo's journey
to
Mordor.
Mordor. Yeah. Anyway, funny. What a motivator.
Yeah, for sure. Far walk.
Lots of walking. What about second breakfast?
Yeah.
No wonder they were so hungry.
See, it's classic, dude.
We gotta rewatch that because like I didn't really know anything like that, and you know they were coming out, and I went to go see them in theaters as they were coming out.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Same. I
Forever.
can't remember how old, but younger, and I went to watch them in theaters.
Yeah, I mean from I think single to double digits,
Like our parents' generation, I feel like had Star Wars.
and we had Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I mean honestly, the amount of jokes about Gollum though. Like that. I think so. I think you're onto something with that. Speaking of Star Wars,
Dude, there's
what a story. That's like a whole universe now.
Dude, honestly, out of control. Yeah.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, TV shows, and more TV shows, and more movies, and all sorts of stuff.
Oh my gosh.
They got comics.
Natalie Portman is Padawan.
Dude.
Padme?
Padme, yeah.
Excuse
Pretty
me.
sure Padawan is like a Jedi in training. I'm not a huge Star Wars guy, but I think that's what it is.
I've seen all the Star Wars movies. Just at least once.
I've seen the original 6, like the old 3.
No, okay, you're
other
right.
3.
Me too. I've seen the original 6.
We've seen some of the new ones. We've seen Solo. We've seen at least a couple with the Kylo Ren guy.
I love the guy who plays Kylo Ren.
Adam Driver. He's
I
a
love
good
him.
actor.
He's so funny.
Yeah. Used to be a Marine. Just saying.
He was in Girls. Just saying.
Yeah.
Talk about like the underdog. You know, like really I think it's so funny. Just I know we're talking about movies, but you know, it's also kind of in the same eye of media. The way that he gets painted for like the first season or two is just kind of wild comparatively to like what kind of a person he actually is. Anyway.
So girls, an off tangent recommendation.
If you're a girl and you liked Sex in the City, you will most likely like Girls. So, speaking of
Really?
Sex in the City, they had
Sex and
like
the City
3
seemed
movies.
way better.
Is it?
I've only seen, I don't know, maybe it's just because I've seen more of it, but I thought Sex and the City was funnier. But I've only seen some of Girls when you've been watching it. I've never like sat through much of it.
I mean, it's about women in New York, and it's like I think 1, it's more modern. 2, I'm not gonna say it's more realistic, but for my generation, millennials, that's what that means. I think that it's more relatable than say Sex in the City is.
Yeah, because they're all like successful and wealthy in Sex and the City.
Yeah, Carrie Bradshaw can like afford an apartment by herself,
Yeah.
doing like 1 column a week. What is that?
Pretty far from the reality people experience today.
In Girls, they're like, we have to have roommates, otherwise we can't afford to live in New York, or my parents cut me off, therefore I can't live in New York. I don't know.
Gotta reset the camera.
The couch ate his
Oh
mic.
no.
Oh.
All right. And we're back. You were talking about Girls.
I was talking about
We
Girls.
were talking about if we could only rewatch one movie, what it would be.
And we got super distracted.
Follow-up question. If you were going to torture someone by making them watch one movie, what movie would you choose?
Oh, man. Gosh, I don't know. What movie was so bad? I mean, I've just blanked them out of my memory. I need some moments to think about that. How about you? What is yours?
I think I would probably do Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, gosh.
It's not a fun watch.
Is that why? So that's interesting that you would say, as I'm like, oh, I'd want to give them like a really terrible movie to watch.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, like,
It's a good movie. It's just not very fun.
no, for sure.
Not a lot of fun.
I'm kind of blown away that that's your answer.
Because it's so smart.
No, it's not. I mean, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. It's 'cause-
What? There's also that movie. Well, you probably haven't heard of it. A Serbian film. It's made its rounds on the internet. I feel like it's pretty internet famous. It's very grotesque. It's not good in any way. It's just like violent, mostly sexually violent. So.
All right. Wow.
But I think Requiem for a Dream is more unsettling to watch.
I think the Saw series.
Oh yeah.
Those are terrible movies. And they're grotesque. The
The
first one
first one's
actually was
good.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I've watched that one several times.
Apparently the 10th one is really good too.
Mm.
I don't know if I buy it. I think that was just
I've only
internet
seen the
marketing.
first 3 and then I stopped because
They're not very good.
they're terrible. It's more just kind of like, let's push the limits on what people think is acceptable because of their shitty behavior or whatever else. I don't know.
I thought the first one when it
Was
came
really
out was
good.
really good though. It was like
Really good.
groundbreaking as far as horror films are concerned. Huh, Hazel?
I really liked it. But yeah, I mean, how about this? Every Saw movie except for the first one. Torture.
Yeah, that's a move for sure.
And just like, no, wait, hold on. Just the scene of that one guy throwing in that woman in the pit of needles. Yeah, just repeatedly. Or really that movie in general. The woman like reaching into the box and then trying to pull her arm out, but there's razor blades on it. I'm going to throw up.
Yeah, you don't.
I hate it.
You don't much go for gore.
No, I'm about like a thriller. Gore is not my jam.
Gore is not her jam.
Yeah, I like horror thrillers, psychological thrillers, psychological horror. I do not like gore unless it's camp. I love a good camp horror movie.
Yeah.
It scares me, but it's like, you know, it's like Scream.
Yeah.
Scream is
Scream
super
a
camp.
classic.
Yeah. Campy.
All the old slashers.
Yeah.
They're not campy per se, but I mean now they're probably considered campy. But
They're like
weren't when-
cult classic now.
Yeah, when they came out, they were like, "Oh my god,
This
this
is
is evil. The devil made this music."
Halloween. Okay, wait, hold on. What's your favorite horror movie then?
Yeah, that's man.
A 2-part question. Favorite horror movie and then favorite movie to watch around Halloween.
Favorite horror movie? It's a hard question for me. You know, I'm a big fan of the genre. Didn't used to be. Used to be terrified of them. And
Which
then-
is funny because you and I have definitely like switched over. When I was like in middle school and high school, I loved horror movies.
I used to absolutely hate them, and now I actively seek them out.
Yeah.
Um,
Funny.
Probably. I mean, Hereditary is probably got to be like one of the best ones I've ever seen.
I can't look at the ceiling anymore because of that one.
Yeah, dude. If I'm going to the bathroom at night and that scene pops into my head, I'm running straight back to the bed.
For real though, I have ran from our bathroom to our bedroom
Yeah.
more than once.
Yeah.
I turn on every light of the house when I go through it now.
I'm
So
a big fan of that movie. I really like The Witch. I just recently watched The Wailing, which is a Korean one, which is really good. Hereditary is probably like my favorite though. But around Halloween time,
mm-hmm.
it's got to be the Evil Dead movies for sure. I
Yeah.
love every single one of them. I mean, obviously the OG ones are my favorite because Bruce Campbell's awesome.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. Now, then there was the 2016 remake of Evil Dead. That's pretty good. And then there was Evil Dead Rise that just came out like this year, and that was pretty good. Evil Dead Rise is definitely less camp, more horror. I like the OG ones because they're campy. They're like
That's
funny.
the one that you and I saw in theaters, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was still pretty campy.
Yeah, I mean it's still
Like, it wasn't
relatively.
as much as it feels like the Evil Dead was almost trying to become like a horror comedy, like ironically.
Yeah, the old ones you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new one didn't seem like it was trying to be so much of a comedy.
I think the old ones are way better. They like
just
balance it.
wasn't-
They
yeah.
balance it out a lot better. Because the new ones like can't decide. They're like, are we gonna be really scary or are we gonna be funny? And the
I
old
didn't like
ones
it,
like
yeah.
leaned really into like the camp.
I guess like I'm not like a super fan of the Evil Dead as it is. I will say that we went and watched the Evil Dead one time, like in theaters on 35 millimeter night.
It was
And
awesome.
that was incredible because for the first half of the movie, everyone had such a high energy and everyone was just cackling at the screen. And then things started getting spooky and everyone was like, wow.
Yeah.
It's like so much fun to go watch old movies like that in theater with a bunch of other people who really like the film. I will say that. That was
Yeah.
incredible.
Well, and the practical effects too are pretty awesome in those movies.
Speaking of practical effects,
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah.
The
those-
old ones.
Those are awesome. I fucking love Planet of the Apes.
The first one was great, and then there's like so many more, and I just keep on like as we're watching them, I was like,
4.
what are these about?
Yeah.
What are
They
these
get
about?
weirder and weirder and
Do they
wackier and
relate?
wackier.
But then so like we do. It's funny because they are like ultimately Planet of the Apes is a really good sci-fi movie series.
Yeah.
And you don't really realize how sci-fi it is until you watch like the second, third, and fourth one.
I don't know, dude. They go to a planet of apes that talk. I love those movies though. I watched the Mark Wahlberg one when it came out in theaters with my dad because he loves Planet of the Apes. And I think the old ones came out when he was younger, so he was a big fan.
They're crazy.
Mark Wahlberg one is the only one we didn't watch when we rewatched them. We watched all the other new ones with James Franco or whatever.
No, we did watch it.
The Mark Wahlberg one?
Planet of the Apes Rise or whatever.
No, it's not.
Was
It's
it
just
called?
Planet of the Apes again.
Oh no, we did though,
It's
because
like a
it's like
remake
the
of the first
quarantine.
one.
The quarantine time is just kind of like what makes the grass grow? Blood. That one.
I don't think so. I don't think we watched it.
I think we did.
I don't think so.
It's like San Francisco, but like
No, that's what I'm.
civilization.
No, those are the newer ones.
Oh.
Mark Wahlberg's right in the middle. There's the old ones. Then there was a Mark Wahlberg one, which is like a remake of the first old one. And then that was it. That's all they did. And then they totally rebooted it with like James Franco and Caesar and all of them again. With the
But those weren't a reboot. Those were like a pre-boot.
yeah. They
Which is
didn't-
funny because that's just that one planet of the apes.
yeah.
Which so there's different planets with different. Anyway,
Are there different planets?
well, because the first original Planet of the Apes, it was the astronauts. They got lost in space, and then they basically like what crash landed, emergency landed on this planet, and then found out that the
On
planet
Earth.
Oh, they tried. They thought it was their Earth. That's right.
They
So
didn't think
basically-
it was. They find the Statue of Liberty and stuff, and they're like, "What the?" They go through
Okay,
like
this
a
is what I mean
wormhole.
by I think yes, a wormhole. This is why I think that it's just like you kind of like piece together that it's like more and more like sci-fi as you go on because it's not just them going into the wormhole after exploring space. It's like people from the first movie escape that planet and then continue to go, you know?
Yeah, in the old ones or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the last one, it's like a bunch of humans worshipping an atomic bomb.
Yeah.
it's so cool. I love Planet of the Apes. I stan Caesar.
Excuse me.
I just want to be part. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, I have someone. Ow, River, that really hurt me.
Hey, get off.
Someone's picking up something outside.
Yeah.
That's why.
We have a secret guest that the girls can't see because our window is tinted, and that upsets them.
It's just someone from Facebook coming to pick something up outside. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, I could recommend horror movies forever because I love them. The old Alien ones, those are awesome.
My favorite horror movie to watch during Halloween is Halloween.
Boom.
Jamie Lee Curtis, the original.
Riv, come here. See, you scared them off. Good job. Proud of you. You really got them.
Yeah, that's all-time favorite.
OG Halloween.
Yes.
Michael.
Jamie Lee Curtis, really doing it.
I like the opening scene or whatever. Yeah. She can't shit now.
Yeah. River, what? Ow, you're pulling my hair.
I like the opening scene in Halloween where he kills his sister. And they're like, what the fuck? You're like 12 or 8 or something. I don't know. He's like a little kid. Or his babysitter, I guess. Not his sister. Whatever. He murders someone as a little kid, and that's why they put him in the asylum thing. Then he busts out.
For some reason, I'm blanking out on that. I just remember.
Give it a goog.
We'll just have to watch it again. River, you got to get off of me, sister. Yeah. You're really like you're like clawing me. I don't like it. She really is. Look at her.
Definitely watch it again.
Attack
She's trying to grab you.
I know. Did the mean person outside scare you? It's okay.
Wait, so what's your favorite horror movie?
The Ring.
The Ring?
Yeah.
Man, The Well.
Okay, so but
what's that little girl's name?
Samara.
Yeah, you're right. Samara. Wow, you knew that quick.
But it's my favorite because it's not really gory, but it's scary. And it's kind of like Smile.
How so? Because it's like a curse that follows you, kind of? Dude,
Yeah.
Speaking of Smile, what'd you think of Smile?
Terrible movie.
Yeah, you didn't like it?
0 out of 10 stars. Same with
You didn't like it that bad, huh?
Yeah. Black Phone, same thing.
Oh, Black Phone sucked.
Terrible.
I will agree with Black Phone. Smile, I thought, had some redeeming qualities.
I thought it was super campy, but they didn't realize, like the people who made the movie didn't realize it was campy. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't think it was that campy.
I think that if it were campier, it would be better.
Really?
Well, she was just kind of like, I don't want to. Spoiler alert. Fast forward like 30 seconds right now.
If you haven't seen Smile and you've got plans to see it, don't listen to this next part.
But
we're
when
about to
she's
talk about it.
She's in like the house of her childhood, and then that guy that she's like basically in love with tries to come find her, and she's like, don't come find me. And then she's like in this alternate universe, alternate reality, and then so is he, but like she still kills herself in front of him, and then the movie ends. Well, that was stupid. She's like fighting this big bad guy who like cannot be fought.
Dude,
it's just like, honestly, who does that sound like? It sounds like fucking Jason.
Well,
Sorry.
The redeeming qualities I thought were the monster, when it gets revealed, is very creepy and like eats her. And I was like, whoa, cool.
I guess 30 seconds wasn't enough.
And then I thought the ending, I agree. I didn't think it was great, but I was like, oh, it's kind of unique, I guess. I would give it like a C. I wouldn't give it a fucking F. Black Phone, I would give an F.
D for Smile, F for Black Phone.
Dude, Black Phone, 0. Yeah, don't recommend that at all.
Terrible.
Just read the short story. It's like 10
probably
pages.
a lot better. Yeah.
Well, and it's like the movie could have just been the short. Like they didn't. It's not a short story that needed a movie. I don't think.
Yeah, I've not read the short story, but I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you. And the other part of that, I'll just go ahead and say, is like any single thing, like a movie about kidnapping, like molestation, etc.
Children. I
Yeah,
don't think
it's
he
just
molests them. He just kills them. But
well, it's like okay. When I watched it, I was just kind of like, whoa, this is a creepy movie about a man who takes children to do what people who steal children do with them. You know what I mean? Spoiler alert. Nope. There's just some snakes in a fucking briefcase, but
Yeah.
it just gave like John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, John Wayne Gacy Jr. I think.
Yeah, it gave vibes of that caliber.
Yeah.
But
he,
then
he
it
did a little
wasn't, yeah.
more than kill his victims, but
That's what I mean, though. It's like, you know, there's movies out there and like stories out there about people who kidnap young people and keeping them or killing them, and what do they do in the meantime? I mean,
I agree. There's enough of that going on in the real world.
I didn't need to watch a movie that even hinted about it.
Well, and like not even a good movie. You know?
No,
The
like,
best part of that movie was Ethan Hawke's performance, probably.
I just feel like I don't need to watch a movie to make me scared about that happening to people or myself. You know what I mean? Like, that's already out there in the universe. I'm like looking for some kind of like escapism. That's I think why I like.
I want to be scared about scary ladies on the ceiling.
I hated that movie because it was so scary.
Really
Good movie if you like horror.
So
Hereditary, probably one of the best horror movies. But I think the reason why I like The Ring so much is because it is such like an outlandish, like would never happen kind of situation. And it's like escaping into like an alternate universe, so to speak. Whereas like, depending on who you are and what you believe in, I mean, Hereditary could be.
If you believe in demons, I guess.
Yeah.
I looked it up. Michael Myers. At the beginning of Halloween, a 6-year-old Michael murders his teenage sister Judith.
Oh, I remember because she gets into the drawer of
now
like
you
knives.
remember.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And then whenever they go by, it's the scary house. It's Michael's house. That's right.
So he was 6, yeah.
It's a good
Pretty
movie.
wild. Pretty wild. Yeah, I like all those. I like Nightmare on Elm Street, dude. Freddy. A gay icon. He's not really gay, I don't think, in the movie, but people say he's a gay icon. He's got the long fingernails and stuff.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Anyway, yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's do comedies now.
Ooh.
What's your favorite comedy movie? I love comedies too. I got like a million of these that I can
pick one, I
recommend.
don't think.
All right, I'll go Step Brothers or the
Love
other
that one.
guys.
Step Brothers wins for me on that.
I mean, it probably wins for me too, but I do love the other guys. It's a very quotable comedy movie.
So is Zoolander.
Yeah, Zoolander's a classic. That's
What
a
is
good one.
this? A city for ants?
What is this? A school for ants?
A school for ants. How
are they supposed to learn if they can't even get inside?
I had bulimia. You could see dead people.
Yeah, that movie's good. Step Brothers is great, dude.
Did you touch my drums?
Yeah.
No, I was just watching Cops. Why are you so sweaty? That's what it was.
Are bonita fish big? It's a trophy fish, so yeah, it's pretty big. I just saw a clip on
the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
I just saw a clip on YouTube of the cast talking about that movie, and they were talking about how like a lot of it's improvised, I guess.
Oh, I love that.
Like they would do scripted takes and then they would just do whatever. And the one guy was talking about, you know, this dinosaur speech where he's like, you know what I wanted to be when I was gonna grow up? I wanted to be a dinosaur. Used to walk around, I'd make my arms small. I guess that whole thing was like improvised, and I was like, that's amazing,
That's
because
incredible.
that's one of the best parts. My dad said, stop being a fucking dinosaur. That movie's great. So yeah,
Bridesmaids also.
Yeah,
It's really good.
Bridesmaids, Step Brothers. You're not a fan of the other guys.
The other guys was fine. It's just, you know, her name is Christina.
Yeah.
You come into my home, you say my wife's name right.
It's Christina. Are you stupid or are you deaf?
That's what it is. I butcher lines in
Yeah.
movies. Hot Rod.
Oh shit! I almost forgot about that one. That is a
Woo!
classic. Yeah.
My
My
name's-
name's Rod, and I like to party.
My name's Dave. I also like to party.
I know for a fact you don't party. That movie is super quotable, and that movie they don't swear or anything, so it's like you could watch that with your family if you wanted to.
Ancestors protect me.
He slams the door. Have fun being married to Satan. Oh God.
Oh my god.
Classic. Andy Samberg, dude. He's a comedy gem. The Lonely Island Boys.
I still know a lot of I'm on a boat.
Yeah.
That one, who doesn't know that song? Probably a lot of people. Hello, I am a theater nerd.
Yeah.
I love.
I don't know. A lot of people probably know it. They are famous.
That was like the last time I really watched SNL. I watched it religiously. Kristen Wiig, Andy Samberg.
You want to know one of my questions? Why did you make us watch Saltburn?
Okay.
That's a good question, dude.
Is it?
I think so.
Let me get all cozy here. I didn't know what it was going to be about. I just kept on seeing people online talking about it.
Internet marketing.
Well, and I thought to
works.
myself, this is like a good piece of pop culture. We should watch it. Well, because
Do you still think that to yourself? Do you think it was a good piece of pop culture?
why do you have to punish me for making decisions? You've made me watch so many bad movies.
I'm not punishing you. I'm just asking.
Okay. No, it wasn't that great. But I will say it was more of a film than it was like a movie for entertainment.
More of a film.
Also, a lot of people were talking about how, I don't know. I think that it's pretty safe to say that Reese and I were pretty grossed out by the movie. There was several
There
scenes.
was a couple scenes.
And it was like funny, like funny gross, like, oh my god, I can't believe that this is on a movie right now, or like I don't know, if you know, you know. But then on online, because I was researching, I literally TikTok reactions to Saltburn because I was interested.
Were they like saying it was good though?
They
or
were
were they
saying
just
it
like,
was, like,
whoa, it's crazy?
A lot of people really liked it, and a
That's
lot of
what
people
I
thought it
see.
was sexy.
I did. I've seen people say it's a horny movie, and I was like, for who, dude? What's wrong with you guys? You guys need to see your therapist twice a week, I guess.
It was the scene with Valencia, and then the grave scene for me. Like, not in like a horny way, but just another, huh?
Dude, it was the bathtub scene for me.
Oh my god, it
Yeah.
was I'm blocking that out from memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I watch a lot of horror, so like I'm kind of used to grotesque stuff, but that movie's
That
not
was
marketed
kind of next
as
level.
well, it's also not marketed as like a grotesque thing. So like those couple of scenes are like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
I literally thought it was going to be like, yeah, a movie about like a guy who fell in love with his friend. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, not even close.
Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
And we watched the trailer for it too, and it seemed like it was going to be interesting, and it was pretty interesting, I will say. Neither one of us were like, let's turn this off.
I don't know, dude.
But we did not have
I'd
the
s-
same reaction.
I'd
as
say
the
about
internet.
60% of the way through, I was like, all right, I'm over this shit.
Oh, well, I thought it was like good enough to finish watching.
I thought the cinematography was good.
Yeah.
Um,
The playlist was good, so like
the music was
yeah.
good. Yeah. I thought even the acting was good.
I agree.
Too bad there wasn't a good story in there somewhere.
Yo, but the parents, like the mom specifically, she was hysterical. So funny.
Yeah.
She'd do anything for attention.
Yeah, that was the best part of the movie, dude. Pamela died. Yeah, she'd do anything for attention. That was by far the best line.
Oh my gosh. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was not impressed. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, I literally the only reason why I wanted to watch it is because so many people were watching or talking about it online. I did see one person was talking about it, like watching it on a flight, and they were like, all my friends say I shouldn't. And then they were like, but I watched P.S. I Love You on a flight, and that was fine. So, we'll just see what happens. And I I want to see the reaction because
Yeah.
she's definitely
The
seen it
person
by
sitting
now.
next to him was probably like, "Yo, get me away from this fucking freak."
Bruh.
Yeah, I don't know. I was
Good
not.
thing I'm a vampire.
Yeah, I was not horribly impressed. I
Yeah.
it's
It was weird.
it like it looked cool and like the acting and stuff was good, but like just why not make a good movie with all those parts to make a good movie, you know?
Yeah, it could have been 3 separate movies, I think.
Shit, it couldn't even be one good one.
Well, okay, whatever. I just mean like separately. Let's talk about directors.
All right.
Who do you like and why?
Oh man.
Do you keep track? I only know like 2 or 3 directors.
Do I keep track? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like not horribly. Obviously, I like Peter Jackson.
Who what does he do?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
Not I mean I don't think Lord of the Rings the film adaptations are not perfect, but I think they're as good as they could have been.
Yeah.
I obviously like why am I blanking on his name? Pulp Fiction?
Tarantino.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, I do love him. Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I like almost all of his movies.
Kill Bill.
Yep.
I do love also like I don't know if this is like just fan theory or what, but his universe and how he has movies for his universe, and in the universe they talk about movies or histories that have happened.
I like the guy that did Parasite. I don't want to say his name because I feel like I'll butcher it. It's
That's
like
okay.
Bong Cho something, I think.
I couldn't even remember his name. I'm terrible with names.
He did Snowpiercer too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Snowpiercer. It's a weird one. That's the one about the train, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Woof. You think you know what's going on in a story, and then suddenly it's just like,
And that's how Parasite is too.
That's fair.
I like Christopher Nolan. He did Memento. He's done all the Batmans. He did.
I didn't care for Memento. I thought it was an interesting movie, but I wouldn't watch it again.
Fair
Unpopular
enough.
opinion, I guess.
Well, I just said I was a fan, so I don't know. Probably a lot of people don't like Christopher Nolan. I haven't watched Oppenheimer, which is his new one.
Yeah, I would like to watch that at some point, but you know, it is what it is. I think Memento was like pretty good. Meh.
And that's it.
River's being so annoying. Yeah. River, I'm kind of hungry too. You guys don't want us there.
We're here. All right, sister. Let's wrap this bad chat up.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
me too.
no
No rush or anything. I'm just.
Let's get this finished.
Yeah, no rush. But if you could just hurry the fuck up. I'm kidding.
Stanley Kubrick.
We were talking about directors. Yeah.
I love The Shining. It's the other movie I like to watch during the fall. I love Stephen King. I love The Shining. Probably my favorite Stephen King book made into a movie, even though it's really not that similar to the book at all.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, it's a terrible adaptation. I think it's a good movie, though.
I think that if the movie were a word-for-word adaptation of the book, it would not be a good movie.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion, probably.
Yeah, film is different than books, so.
Also, like, the Jack Torrance, like, his dive into madness is much slower in the book. And there's only so long you have in a movie to really be able to display that. And him having just, like, having the same exact thing happen to him, to me, it made sense. Also, Eyes Wide Shut
He also did Full Metal Jacket.
and Full Metal Jacket,
Yeah.
and A Clockwork Orange.
We've actually watched a whole bunch of his stuff.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, there's a bunch of
Space Odyssey, right?
I think you're right, but I don't know.
I mean, great guy, great director, good movies.
Great guy, dude. We're good pals.
My best friend,
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick. But Eyes Wide Shut is probably the weirdest one. And then speaking of weird movies, film. I love like film, like sophisticated film.
Sophisticated, huh?
Yeah, well, like I'm thinking about specifically that movie. We watched this together a couple years ago, Mulholland Drive.
Oh, yeah.
It's like movies like that when you have to basically either watch it a secondary time or you have to like deep dive, do a research and like make yourself a thesis of what it means.
Like that movie
Mother, yeah.
Have you seen that?
I think so. I think I watched it with you.
You definitely didn't watch it with me.
Oh, well then maybe I haven't seen it. Also that other movie that we watched together. What is it called? Shoot. I'm thinking
What's it
thinking of
about?
ending things.
I'm thinking of ending things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's like about like a relationship at first, but then it becomes more about his life. Based on a book. I haven't read the book.
Yeah. I don't hardly remember that movie, to be honest, but yeah, I do remember watching it. Forgettable.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of really good movies. Michel Gondry, another great director. He director of my favorite movie. He also, I think he was just a producer, but Being John Malkovich, also just a wonderful movie. Cameron Diaz and what's his name?
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Oh, Being John Malkovich? I think I made you seen it. It's like one of my top 10.
Oh.
It's pretty good.
You probably have. I probably just forgot about it.
I cannot think of like the main guy's name. He was like in a bunch of stuff in like the early 90s, late 80s. John Cusack.
John Cusack.
I think that's him. And Cameron Diaz is like she like adopted a chimpanzee, and John Cusack's character is like a puppeteer, and he finds a tunnel, and this tunnel is actually a wormhole into John Malkovich's mind, and he eventually learns how to use John Malkovich as a puppet of his own.
I don't think I've seen it.
We have to watch it.
Sounds weird.
Weird, yeah. It's really good though. Cameron Diaz. It's like the only role that I've seen Cameron Diaz be in where she's not like overtly just
sexual.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's interesting. Yeah. Movies.
They're pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I concur. I also think they're pretty cool.
He loves movies. He's got a
love-
collection of DVDs.
Yeah, I do love movies.
And we also have a collection of movies that we've purchased on Amazon.
Yep.
Thank you, Bezos.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Movie's sick as hell.
Especially, so we went to go see the last one in theaters.
Wasn't as good as the first.
I still think it was really good.
Yeah.
Really, you've kind of changed my mind on cartoons as an adult.
They're awesome.
We watched Soul, I think last year, and we also watched Frozen.
Yeah.
Like, there are children in our lives. Like, we both have nieces and nephews, but well, really, we just have nephews, the both of us.
Yeah.
But I have cousins who have girls.
Yeah.
So whatever. It's like we have friends who have kids, but Yeah, we don't really have a reason to really watch cartoons.
Other than the fact that they're sick.
They're really good. Yeah, some of them are really good. Pixar stuff, or is it Pixar who did like Soul and I watched Wall-E. We watched Wall-E. That was really good.
Wall-E's awesome.
I was surprised. It was like
Yeah,
it was such a read into our society, honestly.
dude,
For a
yeah.
children's
Read you,
show.
wrote you.
Yeah, honestly.
I made you watch.
It's just like all of like the obese people in their
In their
loungers
chairs.
in
Yeah.
like a space station.
And then the planet got destroyed by all the garbage, dude.
I mean, yeah, read you, wrote you.
Yeah, Wall-E. I made you watch Up.
Well, I've seen Up before you.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, Into the Spider-Verse. Cartoons are amazing, dude.
Really, Reese just really loves movies, and
I do.
He has shared his love of movies with me.
I stand for movies.
He does, especially going to the theater.
It's an experience.
We have
yeah.
Our first date was a.
Oh yeah, Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about that movie.
Oh
Not good.
boy. We sat the
The
entire
new
time in
one.
that theater and we laughed.
Yeah.
I can't remember the movie. It was just so bad.
Yeah.
That's what I would make someone watch to torture them.
Yeah. The Pet
Repeatedly.
Cemetery remake was not good.
So,
They
but
can't
we had a
all-
great time.
They can't all be winners, you know.
That's right.
They had It, so the It remake was pretty
Oh,
good.
the remake was really good.
You know, Doctor Sleep, also like that one.
Oh yeah, Doctor Sleep is so good.
It's like how many, no one bats 1,000. Anyway, yeah, I love movies, and I think everyone should love movies. 'Cause
The
they're
end.
Cool. The end.
Well, I guess that wraps it up for me.
That does, that wraps it up. Any parting thoughts on film?
I think we should watch a movie after this.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch a movie, dude. It's called The Inside of My Eyelids.
Being John Malkovich.
My one final thought would be watch some foreign films, because you
Oh
never
my
know, you might
gosh.
find a good one.
And not just Amelie. Even though Amelie is cute.
Yeah, there's other stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you're into horror, I have to like really enunciate that because I just
If
say
you're
if
into
you're into
horror.
horror. If you're into horror or
Or.
horror,
Or.
the Koreans, they make a mean horror film.
They did the original Grudge, and they also did.
Isn't that Japanese?
I thought. Oh, maybe it is. I thought it was.
I think the
Maybe it
Grudge,
is
I believe,
Japanese.
is
There's this other
Japanese.
one. Well, Japanese horror films are also good. There's this one film. Sorry, I know we're like about to end, but there's this
Fine.
one horror movie that I guess it is Japanese. That was like really rude of me not to know.
How dare you?
But it's like oh my god, My Chemical Romance has a music video and there's like scenes to that movie in it.
Any thoughts? Any idea?
I can't remember what it's called, but it's very gruesome. It's like this guy is like trying to figure out like what this girl is about and what she's about and what she's about, and then finally he kind of like finds her and she basically poisons him, and as soon as he comes to, she like tortures him until the end of the movie.
Nice.
It is crazy.
Yeah. No, I was thinking more.
It's not like, I don't know, gory gruesome, but she does like
well, I don't know what movie
They do
you're
gore
thinking
pretty
of,
good.
but the Korean movies that I've seen can be pretty hardcore. I Saw the Devil. It's a good one.
Ooh.
Pretty
I didn't see that one.
savage.
Excuse me.
The Wailing, also pretty gruesome. Not too terribly gruesome. Pretty creepy though, for sure. Also very good. Old Boy, deeply unsettling. They're all great though. Anyway, that's my final parting thought would be don't just watch American films, because lots of places make them.
I think also just be open to any genre, even if they do scare you or you think they're stupid.
Yeah. Not that you have to watch horror movies.
No, but even movies like rom-coms or, you know, like
Yeah.
watching The Notebook.
I would second that. Just be open.
Like there are
We watched
some
Love Actually, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good, and I didn't even want to watch it.
That is true. I just put it on. I tricked him.
Mostly, I didn't want to watch
was
it because
invested.
it was late. But yeah, I got invested pretty quick, and I thought it was pretty good. The only part I didn't like was the lady visiting her brother in the psych ward.
Well, I thought you didn't like the no wrap up to Severus Snape cheating on his wife.
I also did not like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, home.
Yeah. Love Actually is buying other girls' necklaces.
Love Actually is based on just like life. Also, the washed up rock star. He's my favorite.
My favorite too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So be open to anything, and
You might be surprised.
yeah, spread your eyeballs or your eyelids, and go watch some movies.
Let your husband scare the shit out of you with Hereditary and the book about the people who find the demon house, the same people who found Annabelle. Let's just do that.
Oh.
Never be able to sleep again.
Wait. What movie are you talking about? I don't know what that last one was, but
It's like the house. They buy a house in like the 70s.
oh, The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it.
The end.
The end.